Your home and mortgage connection.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit in current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. And then remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, we're celebrating today. We celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. It's National Moldy Cheese Day. Now, you hear the word mold and you kind of say, I don't know about that one. And a lot of people will say, I'm going to, I can see anything with mold on it. In my refrigerator, you throw it away. But let's see, not all mold is created equal. I'm a fan of blue cheese. That's a mold. And maybe not as much the blue cheese as the olive you put the blue cheese in, and the blue cheese olive that goes into the Tito's martini. Are you getting the picture here of the idea behind this blue cheese? I digress. Okay, so it is Moldy Cheese Day. I looked this morning because there wasn't so much on the anorexia calendar, and I did look. There are some other things going on that we celebrate this day, but the National Broadcasting Corporation was formed on this date in 1926. I'm not sure that's a good one. Now, NBC might be, they're having some problems. MSNBC, hee-haw, that's no longer even part of NBC. I think they call it MS Now or something along those lines because NBC doesn't want to admit to them. Maybe they'll get Katie Porter over there. I don't know if you've watched. Did you watch it, Josh? Are they showing any of the Katie Porter interview in Vegas? Have you seen any of that? Okay, doesn't. So if you're listening in California, Katie Porter's running for governor of the state of California. Now she's such a bad candidate that not only did she lose to Adam Schiff for governor, she didn't even beat Steve Garvey. Now, if you're a Democrat and can't beat a Republican in California, there's something you got to wonder.
What are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing? Just throw that out there for you. It's not a lot of logic for what she's up to, but we just throw that in there to make sure. The Washington Monument opened to the public this date in 1888. And in 1936, how about this one? The Hoover Dam, yes, the one in Nevada. I don't know if there is another one. Began transmission of electricity to Los Angeles this date in 1936. So thanks, Josh. You're sending electricity to us. Although last time I was out there, the Hoover Dam seemed like it was missing a bit of water. I don't know if it's got any more water in there, but it was kind of light at that time. So hopefully they've got some more water in there and it's doing better. Let's see what the markets are doing today. Do we want to see what the markets are doing today? Still not a lot of news to go in the markets. It's an interesting feat when you do radio every day like we do here on Ron Siegel Radio. if you don't have a lot of news to cover, what do you cover? And you look and you say, okay, the markets, well, we're not in earnings season and we're not getting reports out of the government. So what do you generally on a Thursday, other than Thanksgiving, holidays, we would generally be talking about the jobs or the first-time jobless claims. But no report today because of the government shutdown. Now, when is the government shutdown going to end? I can't tell you that. But if I were to look at a calendar, and I'm going to right now on the side here, look at a calendar and say when that, and I don't even have to go to ChatGPT. It'll tell me here. I can guarantee you that the government shutdown will be over, if not sooner, by November 21st. Why do I say November 21st? Well, what do politicians care about? Two things. They care about getting reelected, and the reason they care about getting reelected is because it helps their wallet. That's what politicians care about. Now, October 21st would be the Friday before Thanksgiving. They're not going to be having to go in and do votes over the Thanksgiving holiday, and they want to go home for the holidays. Now, I did listen to one of the commentators, and they made a very good point. November 7th is when we're going to see the first real major effects of the shutdown, if it's still going then, on markets. Why? Because November 7th is when our next jobs report comes out. If we don't have jobs reports and we don't have inflation reports, it's hard for the markets to forecast what corporate earnings are doing. And that's a big issue for the market. So I look right now and I see that the Dow Jones Industrial Average is down 145 points. The NASDAQ is down 49. S&P 500 is down 13. Oil is down 53 cents a barrel. And in California, our gas prices are probably still the highest in the country. Yeah, it's not surprising. We always get those outrageous gas prices. It's just what we're used to. So gas prices dropped another 0.5 cent yesterday nationally, and they went up again in California. It's just the way it is. Thanks, Gavin, because we don't have any leadership in California. So the problem then becomes when you have a issue like we have the fire at the refinery in El Segundo, the Chevron refinery, and they deliver 25% of the gasoline for the state of California goes through that refinery. Well, if you have a problem there, guess what? When they have to shut down for maintenance and they have a fire, you got problems. So, and you got the EPA here in California, the environmentalists, and I'm all for clean air, clean water, clean everything. But you have to have some sense of logic in there and what's reality. We need electricity. We've got this AI going. I don't know if you're using AI. I know that I thought I saw an interesting thing this morning that it's advertised or it's being covered in the media. Very interesting. Hey, Josh, have you looked into Sora yet? Was it Sora 2? I guess that's the newest coming out from ChatGPT, and it makes videos of everything. And one of the stations that I watched this morning, they said, well, it's a whole AI system for deep fake. So I can take a picture, or we'll have Josh take pictures of me, and he can then create full videos, and I don't even know what he's saying in them, but it'll look just like me doing it. Fascinating watching how that's taken place. Now, we'll use it for beneficial stuff, but I'm sure there's going to be a lot of folks out there that it's going to get used for things that are not quite as beneficial. But we're going to continue our conversation. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. 3 collection payment traps. How it affects your FICO score. Don't let unrealistic pricing cost you your move. Insurance checkup for empty nesters, all that and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you missed any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. your home and mortgage connection.
Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564. Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you can retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less? All without having to spend more each month than you spend right now. Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis. rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the First Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you a renter and tired of making monthly payments? Paying off someone else's mortgage? Hey, it's Ron Siegel here to help you stop renting and start owning your dream home with amazing low interest rates. And you could potentially qualify for a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket. So stop renting. Start owning with Ron Siegel. Learn more at ronsiegelradio.com and start owning today. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Do you believe Southern California real estate is a great investment? Are you a little short to be a cash investor? Are you missing the Social Security card or tax returns? The Siegel Lending Team has the loans for you. Common Sense Lending is back. Yes, there's a cost to higher risk, but the reward can be great. Call today for details. 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 217037 and DRE number 1869452.
Homeowners over the age of 62 are taking back financial control after retirement with reverse mortgages, and the Siegel Lending Team is here to help you use it to your advantage. Call Ron Siegel with Geneva Financial to receive your free information booklet with no obligation. The booklet answers all your questions, and the best part is, you still own your home. Call Ron Siegel at 1-800-306-1990 or visit ronsiegelradio.com.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you a military veteran, first responder, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, then you're a Ron Siegel VIP hero, and you may qualify for rewards up to $5,000 to $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with a Ron Siegel Radio partner. As a valued VIP hero, you receive special savings, rebates, and valuable discounts. Learn more by calling me, Ron Siegel, at 1-800-306-1990 or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. It's just our way of saying thank you.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. 1990, the Mortgage Minute, today being brought to you by rsrlinks.com/mobile app, rsrlinks.com/mobile app. And every day at this time, OBMMI, they provide the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, and interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry, calculated from actual locked rates with consumers across 35% of all mortgage transactions nationwide. They do not tell us points paid, points received, or the APR. They tell us the number you put in your mortgage calculator to figure out what your principal and interest payment will be if you don't have a mortgage calculator. rsrlinks.com/mobile app. rsrlinks.com/mobile app. So what did rates do yesterday? Every one of them were down. We like that. Conventional 30-year fix, 6.277. Jumbo 30-year fix, 6.439. FHA 30-year fixed, 6.089. VA 30-year fixed, 5.845. USDA 30-year fixed, 6.099. Every one of them were down. And we like it when they're all heading south. Gotta love that one. Now, let's see, what is the market doing today? If you want our market commentary, and yes, I already posted it, go to rsrlinks.com/HBOD. It's in the Ron Siegel Radio community. And if you haven't checked out the community, we put in a lot of good stuff in there. It's being populated every single day. rsrlinks.com/HBOD. And I do have people ask me, where do you come up with HBOD, Ron? Well, we've also been talking about this for about 15 years. Household Board of Directors, HBOD. So go to rsrlinks.com/HBOD. And you can actually see what our market commentary for the day is, or for the early part of the day. You know, a lot of things change throughout the day. But let's see what the markets are doing right now as we're speaking. And we're looking at the S&P 500 is down 14.33. The 10-year Treasury is up 2 basis points at 4.139. And we also are seeing that the mortgage bond is down 13 basis points. And that bond down 13 basis points means interest rates are up. What's driving all this? Well, It is day 9 of the government shutdown, and the Fed minutes that were released yesterday underscored how divided the Fed is. With limited data to act on, clearly both Congress and the Fed are going their separate ways for now. So far this morning, stocks are lower, mortgage bonds are trading up higher, with the 10-year yields up, as I mentioned, 2 basis points. Yesterday, the 10-year Treasury note auction was met with average demand, but it did cause yields to drift a little higher following the results. Later this afternoon, again at 1 o'clock Eastern time, there'll be a 30-year bond auction, which could impact the bond market depending on the level of demand. Additionally, the Fed minutes that were highly anticipated yesterday due to the Fed cutting rates on September 17th meeting and the clear division at the Fed were released and also added slight pressure to the bond market. The minutes showed that the Fed is clearly divided on the path of future rate cuts and their views on inflation and labor, but most were in favor of cutting rates further this year. This could, of course, mean 1 or 2 more cuts at the 2 remaining Fed meetings in 2025. Right now, the Fed futures are forecasting a 95% chance of 25 basis point cut on October 29th. Some Fed members believe that lower net migration and weak labor market will help inflation, while others are concerned about the tariffs, higher consumer inflation expectations, and business contacts saying that they would pass along price increases. Well, that's a good commentary that they would pass along price increases, but that doesn't mean you and I are going to pay them because we might decide just not to buy. On the labor market, some Fed members believe it's weak while others feel it's still solid or stable. Hard to imagine what they're looking at, as 3 out of the last 4 ADP reports have shown job losses. Something to keep an eye on in the upcoming jobs reports when we eventually get them is the 150,000 government workers that took the buyout. They'll start to show up in the government unemployment claims and could cause less job creations, labor force figure to increase and unemployment rate to rise. There was also a big discrepancy in where Fed members believe the neutral Fed rate is, which is why some believe there is more room to cut versus others. On tariffs, most agreed that the impact will be temporary, but because they're not coming all at once and there are still several big trade deals open, that the impacts would not filter through until the end of next year. Lastly, the Fed is watching AI and the impact on GDP investment and the labor market. With the National Retail Federation, with government economic reports not being released, alternative sources are being followed more closely. The National Retail Federation released their version of retail sales for September, showing a broad and steep decline in consumer spending, which had been strong. While it's possible for a lull after the back-to-school shopping season ahead of the holidays, it's worth watching as it could be a canary in the coal mine. The National Retail Federation shrugged off the weaker report and felt that the consumer would bounce back. In real estate, cash buyers are making up about 1/3 of all transactions, but that has begun to decline a bit. This could be because individuals are opting to get a mortgage instead of paying cash because of the current drop in rates, and just overall activity from individuals like first-time home buyers who are very rate sensitive. Either way, less cash transactions is a good thing for the mortgage industry, as it means more business. That is the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by rsrlinks.com/mobile app, rsrlinks.com/mobile app. Let's see. Maybe we'll do a Mortgage 101. That's what we'll do. Mortgage 101, brought to you by gethomeselect.com, gethomeselect.com. 3 things you may not know about FHA loans. If you think FHA loans are only for first-time buyers with perfect credit, you're not alone, but you're also you're not alone, but you're also wrong, and those misconceptions might be costing you money. I am Ron Siegel, certified liability advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. Today, I want to clear up some common myths about FHA loans. These government-backed mortgages have been around since the 1930s, but I still hear the same misunderstandings from clients every single week. Let me share 3 facts that might surprise you. First, the FHA isn't actually a lender. The Federal Housing Administration does not make loans. They're part of the Department of Housing and Urban Development, and they act as an insurance company. When you get an FHA loan, you're really getting a loan from a bank or credit union that's insured by the FHA. Why does this matter? Because that insurance policy protects the lender if things go sideways. And when lenders feel protected, they're willing to extend credit to people with lower credit scores and smaller down payments. That insurance is what opens doors for borrowers who might not qualify for conventional financing. Second, FHA loans aren't just for first-time buyers. I had a client last month, repeat home buyer, selling one house and buying another. She assumed FHA was off the table because she'd owned before. That is not true. And I know that I've got it on here somewhere because we already heard it this morning. Yeah, that's just not true. Yes, FHA is popular with first-time buyers because you can put down as little as 3.5%, but repeat buyers should use these loans too. Maybe your credit took a hit during a divorce. Maybe you're rebuilding after a business setback. The FHA program doesn't care if this is your first house or your fifth. The catch, it has to be your primary residence. No investment properties, no vacation homes. Third, there are no income limits or geographic restrictions. Compare that to other programs. The VA loan offers 100% financing, but you need military service. USDA loans offer zero down, but you're limited to designated rural areas and there are income caps. FHA, anyone can apply, any zip code, any income level. That 3.5% down payment can even come as a gift from family, your employer, or a charitable organization. Now, here's where strategic debt management comes in. When I review someone's total financial picture, sometimes an FHA loan makes sense as part of a bigger strategy. Other times, a conventional loan works better. It depends on your household blended interest rate, your unique goals and objectives, and how each option impacts your monthly cash flow. Bottom line, strategy beats rate always. An FHA loan might have a slightly higher interest rate than conventional financing, but if it gets you into a home 3 years earlier, builds equity sooner, and fits your current financial situation better, that's the right strategy. Want to see how an FHA loan compares to your other options? Head to bookrs15.com, bookrs15.com, and let's run the numbers together. Go in and get key steps, rsrlinks.com/keysteps, rsrlinks.com/keysteps, and let's take a look at if you're mortgage ready. We'll look at the total cost, the cash flow impact, and which path makes the most sense for building your wealth. This is Ron Siegel. Thanks for listening to the Mortgage 101 segment brought to you by GetHomeSelect.com, GetHomeSelect.com. Remember, there's a lot of strategies, and one of the biggest challenges that I hear on a regular basis, especially when people go to the online services to try and get a home loan, is they don't know enough. We don't know what we don't know. And if we don't know what we don't know, how do we know what the questions are that we should be asking because we don't know? Almost sounds like Kamala Harris talking there, doesn't it? Just going kind of in circles, but you just don't know what you don't know. So that's why you need a professional, a guide, a certified liability advisor to help you deal with your overall financial picture. Think about this. If you're buying a new home, 3.5% down, and you're getting a 6 and a fraction interest rate. I don't remember what the screen said a minute ago that we had up. I'm going to see if I can pull that up real quick. But an FHA loan was locked yesterday at 6.099 is where the average FHA loan locked. Well, with the way the market's been going right now, there are insurance policies that are very, very safe and very, very secure that you can go get today and get more than that 6.099, which is or may be deductible. Talk to your CPA or tax planner. And then you may be getting a benefit there by the delta, the arbitrage, the difference between what you're earning and what it's costing you to buy that money. So that's, again, just think about your unique situation. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio. discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, don't let unrealistic pricing cost you your move. And insurance checkup for empty nesters, all that and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you haven't missed any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area-trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564. Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area-trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you can retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less? All without having to spend more each month than you spend right now. Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis. rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at RonIsMyLender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. RonIsMyLender.com.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the first Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area-trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you a renter and tired of making monthly payments? Paying off someone else's mortgage? Hey, it's Ron Siegel here to help you stop renting and start owning your dream home with amazing low interest rates. and you could potentially qualify for a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket. So stop renting. Start owning with Ron Siegel. Learn more at ronsiegelradio.com and start owning today. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Do you believe Southern California real estate is a great investment? Are you a little short to be a cash investor? Are you missing the Social Security card or tax returns? The Siegel Lending Team has the loans for you. Common Sense Lending is back. Yes, there's a cost to higher risk, but the reward can be great. Call today for details. 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 217037 and DRE number 1869452.
Homeowners over the age of 62 are taking back financial control after retirement with reverse mortgages, and the Siegel Lending Team is here to help you use it to your advantage. Call Ron Siegel with Geneva Financial to receive your free information booklet with no obligation. The booklet answers all your questions, and the best part is, you still own your home. Call Ron Siegel at 1-800-306-1990 or visit ronsiegelradio.com.
We're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Don't let unrealistic pricing cost you your move. These days, you're going to want to get your price right. And when you get ready to sell your house, honestly, it's more important than ever. Why? While you may want to list high just to see what happens, that's a plan that can easily backfire, and it's going to cost you in today's market. And the risk isn't just missing out on offers, it's missing out on the move you needed to make in the first place. Many homeowners remember what their neighbor's house sold for a few years ago, and they want to chase the same sky-high number. The problem is, that was a different market. Go get key steps. It'll tell you what your property's worth. rsrlinks.com/key steps. And we're going to be coming out with a report. In fact, it's already, the technology is all there. We're going to be calling it the home report, rsrlinks.com/home report. And it'll track and give you a message about your property every single month. Today, there are more homes for sale. Buyers have more options to choose from. They don't have to get into bidding wars where they offer way over asking just to compete. Now, they can come in at or even below list price. And if you're not open to that, they'll move on. Lisa Sturdivant, chief economist at Bright MLS, explains, quote, buyers will have more leverage in many, but not all markets. Sellers will need to adjust price expectations to reflect the transitioning market, unquote. But here's the good news. You still have one big advantage as a seller. According to the Federal Housing Finance Agency, home values went up by a staggering 54% over the last 5 years. So even if you compromise just a little bit on your sale price today, odds are you're still coming out way ahead. Now again, go to rsrlinks.com/salesmax, rsrlinks.com/salesmax. We showed on there how you can get, there's I think 3 strategies in there to maximize the sales price of your property. Now I will submit, I suggest listing your property a little lower than market. Get into a bidding war. No matter what you price your property at, it's gonna get sold at market price. Think about this. We haven't had him on in a while. Our friend Simon Polito, he goes out and does an auction on properties, and he puts them out bidding to begin at, and that at number is usually 30% below market. Why would he do something like that? Because he knows when people start bidding on a property, it's going to go to market price. Now, it may even, if you get egos involved, they may even get it above market price. Again, rsrlinks.com/salesmax. You also want to look and see what is it that you can do to help the buyer. So if you look at the buy down strategy we put in there, and I think we just did this recently, we shared where, the rates are different today, but at that time, we were able to go out and the seller on that property was able to put out that the seller was, the agent did this. The agent said, seller has approved special financing terms through their approved lender. And that was a potential 4.99% 30-year fixed rate loan. And this was just a couple of 3 weeks ago. Now, if you look at that, rsrlinks.com/buydown, we show how that family was able to do that with the help of their lender, us, and with their realtor, rsrlinks.com/buydown. Now, I don't know that 4.99 is still available, but it's something close. The challenge, most sellers aren't thinking about it that way. They're stuck on what a neighbor got months or years ago, and that's a costly mistake. Overpricing can stall your whole move. Here's what happens. A seller lists too high, buyers stay away, no offers come in, the house sits, and suddenly that seller is facing a tough decision. Do they cut the price, stick it out, or give up altogether? In the buy down program, we show you don't cut the price to start with. Unfortunately, a late price cut may not be enough. Buyers often see that as a red flag that something's wrong with the house. That's why some sellers are opting to just pull their listing off the market. In a recent survey from John Burns Research and Consulting and Keeping Current Matters, over half of agents, 54%, say there are more homes being taken off the market than usual. And you can see the graph if you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of our socials, or the ABC News and Talk, AM 1490 and FM 98.1 video feeds. And the top reasons for that? According to the agents, homeowners didn't get any offers they felt were fair. The survey from John Burns and KCM explains it like this, quote, sellers holding on to high price expectations is the leading reason they are delisting their homes, unquote. And we've got that graph on the screen right now as well. Bright MLS data backs this up. Quote, sellers are delisting after having their home on the market and finding they're not getting the price they hoped for. It's more proof pricing too high. It's more proof pricing too high does more than turn buyers away. It puts your whole move at risk. Because if no one looks at your home or makes an offer, how are you going to sell it? The secret to making your move happen, if you're selling to relocate for a job, need more space for your growing family, or have to be close to your relatives as they age, you cannot afford to get stuck. You need a pricing strategy that helps you move forward and starts with the right agent. The sellers who are winning right now are the ones working with experienced local agents who know the current market, are not afraid to have honest conversations about price. And it's paying off. In the right price range and condition, homes are still selling fast, sometimes with multiple offers. And if you really have to move and you can't afford it, we've got the transition loan options that we've talked about as well on Ron Siegel Radio. I don't know if we've put all that into a link, Josh. Do we have a link for the transition programs? rsrlinks.com/transition. rsrlinks.com/transition. There are options out there that we've put together to help you be able to buy a house before you sell your departing property. Bottom line, pricing your house for today's market isn't just about getting it sold. It's about making sure your move doesn't stall before it starts. Let's talk through what buyers are really paying right now in your local area and how to price your home to match. That is the Real-Time Real Estate segment brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. I think we've got a Borrow Smart segment brought to you by gethomeselect.com. When was the last time you reviewed your insurance policies? If your kids have moved out, your coverage needs to have probably changed, and I'm talking more than just life insurance. I am Ron Siegel, certified liability advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. Here's what most people don't realize. Once the kids are out of the house, your entire insurance picture shifts. You're likely at your peak earning years, building up your retirement nest egg, but here's the question. Are your insurance policies protecting what you've built, or are you still paying for coverage you no longer need? Let's start with your home. Maybe you paid off the mortgage. That's great. But here's the thing, just because the lender doesn't require homeowners insurance anymore, doesn't mean you should drop it. The cost to replace your home and everything in it has probably gone up significantly over the years. When's the last time you checked? And while you're talking about protecting your assets, consider an umbrella policy. Think of it as an extra layer of protection against your personal liability. It's relatively inexpensive for peace of mind it provides. Now, health insurance. If you're retiring before 65, you've got a gap to fill before Medicare kicks in. You can get on your spouse's plan, or do you need to look at private coverage? Once you hit 65, don't forget about Part D for prescription and Medigap insurance. Here's a tip. Buy that Medigap coverage within the first 6 months of turning 65. You'll get better pricing and more options. What about disability insurance? Once you stop working, you can cancel it. The need is gone. Life insurance is interesting at this stage. The financial obligations that made you buy it in the first place might have disappeared, but new needs can arise. Estate planning, creating a legacy, making sure there's liquidity for your heirs. It's worth a fresh look. And here's the big one that many people overlook: extended care insurance. With the kids' expenses behind you, this might be the time to get protection against what could be your most significant healthcare cost in retirement. Medicare won't cover most of these expenses: in-home care, nursing facilities. These costs can wipe out what you've spent decades building. Here's my approach when I sit down with clients. We look at everything through the lens of safety, liquidity, and return. Insurance fits into that safety category. Might even fit into the liquidity category. But it's not just about having insurance, it's about having the right insurance for where you are right now in life. So what does this mean for you? Take a Saturday morning, pull out all your policies, look at what you have. Think about what's changed since you bought them. Then talk to someone who can help you see if your coverage still makes sense. And yes, we do know people that we can help introduce you to. Strategy beats rate always, and that includes your insurance coverage. If you'd like help reviewing your complete financial picture, including how insurance fits into your debt management strategy, visit rsrlinks.com/keysteps, rsrlinks.com/keysteps to get your financial house in order, or call me directly at 800-306-1990 and let's set up that strategy call. This is Ron Siegel reminding you that protecting what you've built is just as important as building it in the first place. That's the Borrow Smart segment brought to you by GetHomeSelect.com. GetHomeSelect.com. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, the collection payment trap. You'll want to hear this one if you've got any collections on your credit report and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you missed any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you could retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis, rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564, complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564. Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the First Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by rsrlinks.com/debt-free, rsrlinks.com/debt-free. Here's something that might surprise you. Paying off old collections could actually tank your credit score. I know that sounds backwards, but stay with me. This is important. I am Ron Siegel, certified liability advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. So here's what happens. A listener came to me last month absolutely frustrated. She had 3 old collections on her credit report, one from 2019 and another from 2020. She was about to refinance her home and she thought, I'll do the responsible thing and pay these off before I apply. She wrote the checks, paid everything in full, then watched her credit score drop 40 points. Probably didn't have key steps, did she? What happened? When something goes to collection status, the dollar amount stops mattering to the scoring algorithm. What matters is the date of last activity. When you make a payment on that old collection, even to pay it off completely, you're essentially refreshing it to today's date. The credit scoring system, you just got hit with a brand new collection. Think about it this way, that 2019 collection was aging out. It was getting less and less important to your score. Then you paid it and suddenly it's a fresh problem from 2025. The second issue, even a paid collection still carries that negative rating. The scoring system doesn't reward you for paying old debts. It just sees a negative mark with a recent date. So what should you do instead? First, don't touch those collections without a plan, especially if you're about to apply for a mortgage or refinancing. That timing matters. Second, if you need to address them, try negotiating what's called a pay for deletion. You offer to pay all or part of the amount in exchange for them removing it completely from your credit report. Not every creditor will agree, but it's worth the conversation. Third, understand how this fits into your overall household financial picture. Sometimes paying off that collection makes sense for other reasons. You're buying a house, you want it settled, you sleep better at night. Just don't expect your credit score to thank you for it. Now, here is a bonus pro tip. If you really want to pay it off and you don't want it to really hurt your credit score, talk to your lender about paying it off through escrow. This is exactly why I focus on strategic debt management. It's not just about whether you owe something. It's about understanding how the system works and making moves that actually improve your financial position. When we're helping clients prepare for a refinance or purchase, we look at the whole picture: credit timing, cash flow impact, and household budgets. Sometimes we need to wait. Sometimes we need to act. Strategy beats rate always. If you've got collections on your credit report and you're thinking about a mortgage or refinance, let's talk before you make any payments. Get yourself set up at rsrlinks.com/keysteps to get your financial house in order. Remember, spending money to drop your credit score never makes anybody happy. I am Ron Siegel. Thanks for listening. That's Your Credit Matters segment, brought to you by rsrlinks.com/debt-free, rsrlinks.com/debt-free. And as always, we ask, set your first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Josh and Sean who are engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money. It's going to help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.